Hey everybody. So, lately I have been talking about AI tools, AI skills, but someone had actually circled back with me and asked a really interesting question. They were wondering what are my favorite tools or which tools do I use the most as it relates to AI platforms. And the thing is, there are a few that I use quite regularly. In fact, it's like every day that I use it. I thought it would be fun to kind of share what those are. Let's go through this list. So my first tool that I want to share is a calendar and project management kind of prioritization system called Motion. I believe I'm going to link to all of these tools below, but their website is usemotion.com. I really enjoy this platform because, one, for me, I have many different calendars between, my home calendar, my work calendars, like other kinds of schedules, and I need it all housed in one place. And Motion definitely allows for that. But it also allows for projects to be organized within the platform, as well as identifying tasks to specific projects. And what helps so much about Motion, and I guess where it is different from other kinds of systems that seem to be doing the same thing, is that it actually uses AI to prioritize tasks. So Motion actually takes the information and finds the available spaces in your calendar where you can work on the particular task. Say it rolls up to a bigger thing, like a project. If you're working on a home improvement project and there's a specific task that is related to this bigger project, sometimes it would really help us if we worked on a few things a little bit each day or whenever there was free time. And Motion allows you to plan that. I appreciate it because I'm the kind of person that would sort of try to manually plan it out. And when things wouldn't go according to schedule, I'd get a little stressed out and freaked out and try to figure out time on my calendar when I could do it. Motion does all of that for me. The second AI powered tool that I use regularly is Otter.ai. So if you're not familiar with Otter, Otter is a transcriber of meetings, of recordings. It's pretty incredible because if you are in a lot of meetings like I am or sessions with people, a lot of times you need to take notes, including follow-up steps for action, or maybe just like a summary, a recap of what has occurred so everybody knows what's happened. Otter allows you to do all that and then some. And what I love even more about it is that, it actually saves the recordings. It can be saved as an audio file, of course, but then you can get a transcription of the meeting and save it as like a text file, or, if for some reason you're recording this particular meeting and you're going to want to share it as a video, say to like YouTube, maybe it's like a training or something, and you need to caption your video, Otter allows, the functionality to do that as well. I like it because it does save so much time in just the note taking and the recapping of everything that you guys talked about and who was involved and that sort of thing. And you can share, the output with people in the meeting. The recaps are helpful because, it can jog my memory on the major themes. And if I want to add more detail, it's a lot easier to just, add my 2 cents to say a recap that I'm going to send to a client about what we discussed. And it's really helpful because I work with, clients a lot more than just a couple of times. It can be like several months and maybe even a year. So it helps to serve as kind of, just like a audio journal of some sort, of looking at progress and things that we've talked over time. So the third tool that I use that is AI powered is Jasper.ai. So, Jasper is a content tool, content creation tool, I guess is what you could call it. A lot of marketers, content creators use it. So I will say it allows you to create some pretty snazzy copy for all sorts of different, forms of, communication that you want to put out there. Even things that say you've written and you know that it could be written a little bit better, it can, really help you in that department. And it can save, the way that you like things expressed, and it will allow you to develop your brand voice so that anything that you are creating, you can ask in a prompt, hey, create this kind of LinkedIn post addressing this topic in my brand voice. And it will get, the tone and the style of how you would speak on these platforms. I do create a lot of different things for social media, for online work, for all sorts of things. Jasper allows me to produce content for these different mediums. So if I'm doing a YouTube video, for example, the descriptions that have to talk about what the video is all about, I would literally spend hours writing them for myself because I just have a hard time finding the words. But with Jasper, it will really put it into the format for a YouTube video description and make it really clever or in my tone. I do a lot of videos and just kind of presentations. As I mentioned, Otter saves a transcript. Jasper can really help me out and repurpose and generate new kinds of content forms based off of the transcript. So if I talked about, say, like personal branding as a job seeker, and these are the 5 rules behind it or something as a talk, and it was recorded, I'll have that transcript, which I can put into a format that is compatible in Jasper and tell Jasper, hey, develop a Facebook post that is brief but engaging, and it talks about this content. I can just paste in the transcript and it will spit out something that sounds like me because it's been trained over time to know what my voice is, what I like, how I would express things. And they can do that for various pieces of content. So the last AI powered tool that I use regularly is, of course, ChatGPT, like a lot of people out there. I use ChatGPT for helping me figure out a study plan schedule. I'm taking a couple of tests this summer and I have to study for it, like a lot of different content, over literally 26 weeks of content. And I have to try to study all that in 3 months, maybe even less than that, and developing a study plan. I just plug it into a prompt within ChatGPT to help me figure out, schedule based off of these particular constraints. And it will come up with something for me. The biggest thing that I've used ChatGPT for that I'm really grateful for is that I'm able to create my own custom GPT or generative pre-trained transformer, if anyone cares to know what that is. So basically, I'm able to take content that I've developed over, a 20-year career and kind of develop, a source. I mean, I wouldn't call it a database, but in a way it's kind of a database because that's what I'm explaining it to be. But like a source of information based off of all of these things that I'm feeding it, presentations that I've developed, training manuals that I've developed, speeches that I've given, all other kinds of things. And also other learnings that I value and respect, I find curious and that I refer back to. I take all these sources and add it to this GPT that I'm creating for myself. And it's really acting like a resource guide for me, like Chat GPT style, but it's all based on my content. So this is incredibly helpful because whenever people have questions about certain things, I'll just either share my GPT that I've created for myself based off of my content with these people so they can just like look it up themselves, or I'll just use it too because I forget. They'll be like, wait, where was that thing? Where is that material? Where's the template? It'll pull it right up. And instead of having to do what I would normally do, should be like, here, I'm going to share my Google Drive with you. So when you page through these folders and look for the stuff and see if it answers your questions, there's none of that anymore. This actually operates like ChatGPT. You ask it a question, but the knowledge source that it's pulling from, the language models that they're using, are generally based primarily from my content, which is really amazing. So it helps me track information that I want to share about my business, about the way I teach and coach, around career and job search strategy, with, clients in a way that is natural, that is really the way of the future. And I mean, I'm just really grateful to have learned how to put together a custom GPT. Anyway, so these are my 4 AI powered tools that I can't live without right now. Certainly there are more, but I would love to hear what is on your list. Which tools are you using to make your life easier or to run smarter? Would love to hear about it. So please comment below.